articles by Desiring God.
Endangered Attention: How to Guard a Precious Gift. Written and read by Scott Hubbard. When we give someone our full attention, our patient, focused, self-forgetful gaze, we look a little like God. The glory of God consists partly in the fact that He, unlike the gods of wood and stone, pays attention to His people. 1 Kings 18:29, Psalm 34:15. No distraction averts His gaze. No interruption snaps His focus. The true God is a perfectly attentive God, and when we offer our full attention to others, we look a little like Him. And when we offer our full attention to others, we look a little like Him. At the same time, of course, our attention is amazingly unlike God's. God can give His full focus 10 trillion places at once. We must choose one among the trillions. God's sight can range through all space and time. Our little forward-facing eyes frame our sight here and now. God can walk through the million-acre orchard of life and see every piece of fruit. We must stop before this tree, this branch, this apple. Which means human attention is one of the most precious gifts we have to give. By it, we offer another creature the dignity of our loving regard. We humble ourselves to know and be known. We invite someone or something to stamp us, even for just a moment, with their unique, surprising existence. And perhaps never more so than in an age like ours, when human attention is an endangered species. Lessons for stewarding attention. Over half a century ago, the great Martin Lloyd-Jones groaned, "The world and the organizations of life around and about us make things almost impossible. The most difficult thing in life is to order your own life and to manage it. There are so many things that distract us. Every one of us is fighting for his life at the present time, fighting to possess and master and live our own life. There are so many things that distract us." Lloyd-Jones had distractions like the morning newspaper in mind. What would he say of a society where most of us live with a newspaper, television, camera, telephone, radio, mailbox strapped to our hand? We are all fighting for our lives, and whether we realize it or not, fighting for our attention, fighting to possess and master and give our attention rather than having it taken from us. And fight is the right word, for the stakes are high. We cannot follow Jesus without giving Him our attention, Hebrews 2:1. We cannot become like Jesus without attentively beholding Him, 2 Corinthians 3:18. And we cannot love like Jesus without offering others our unhurried, undistracted, calm, attentive regard. How then can we steward our limited, precious, endangered attention? In short, by living as humans made in the image of God, rather than as gods. Better. Learn less, but learn better. Listen to less, but listen better. You cannot eat all the apples in life's information orchard. You would be foolish to try. So make peace with your gloriously limited humanity and learn to choose and savor just a few. Prioritize near over far. For most of history, humans had no choice but to give their attention to those people and things that lay near at hand. Adam and Eve not only did not know what was happening outside Eden, they could not know. There was no ancient Near East times back then. So what could they do but spend their waking hours devoted to what they could see? Today, we are just as limited as our first parents, with just as many hours in the day and just as much capacity for focus, but with billions more objects vying for our attention. We no longer need concern ourselves with people who can talk back or with the sensory world. We can spend all our time on the digital side of the globe. Such availability, however, has not fundamentally changed our responsibility. Though we can know nowadays about matters far beyond the garden called home, God still holds us responsible first and foremost for how well we love, care for, and attend to those people and callings within arm's reach. What was once an inevitable fact of creaturely life now needs stating. Proximity heightens responsibility. The Ephesians were to care for the whole church's households, but especially for their own, 1 Timothy 5:8. The Galatians were to do good to all, but especially to fellow believers, Galatians 6:10. Israel fell under judgment, not for neglecting Edom's poor, but the poor within their own gates, Amos 8:4-6. And if you are a normal, busy person, your nearest circles likely need all the attention you can give. Few of us can attend well to spouse and children, church members and neighbors, while also attending well to digital controversies, international news, and high school friends' Instagram posts. Something must give, and we need not feel guilty for prioritizing the near over the far. Don't just see, but notice. The muscle of attention strengthens or atrophies in part during everyday, ordinary moments. What do you do when you arrive somewhere 5 minutes early or when you wait in line at the grocery store? Like so many, I find myself reaching for my shiny pocket rectangle, that beloved window into distant realms. But this window is also a shutter, closing my eyes to the realm right in front of me. Creation has grown dim to many. We see without seeing and hear without hearing. The world's ecstasies have become a background hum. The color spectrum has turned to shades of gray. We have grown unrighteously unlike the God of Psalm 104, that wanderer who never grows weary of gushing springs and valley beasts, branched birds and growing grass, schools of fish in the hidden deeps. We have also become unlike the attentive Jesus, that Psalm 104 God made flesh. He had a way of noticing what others only saw, didn't he? The disciples saw some birds and flowers,